but is fit Group 1, and this one will hit home a little more than them all. It's Muscle Mountain out by 2.5 lengths.
Has run them ragged, and RC Phoenix goes all the way. RC Phoenix wins it brilliantly. Second home, Mufasa Metro. Two outstanding trotting mares in a duel. Queen Elida put her nose in front, and Queen Elida will win it. Queen Elida first is beaten up.
Oscar Bonavina 3 lengths away, revving up, then Result. Majestic Man, Oscar Bonavina leading rip up the lane. Oscar Bonavina dives through for another Group 1 win. Oscar Bonavina won the free-for-all and beat home Majestic Man.
Just believe, call me the breeze. This is the race we wanted. Just believe, call me the breeze. Call me the breeze.
Just believe digging in on the outside and Queen Elida, a dour struggle. Just believe though, a true great of the trotting world in Australasia.
Mr. Brad Steele. Right, now I apologise, turned out we had no sound, so I went through the first part of it. People were watching. Thank you very much, Brad Steele, for letting me know that. Really do appreciate it. I hope you're feeling better soon too, so I do appreciate that. But yep, we are live now and to have audio. One thing I always do, every now and then I just seem to miss out on the on that little part of it. We'll just double check. Yep, so we're all good now. Definitely done audio check. Right, we're going to be catching up with David White and Stacey White, who've got a beautiful trotter called Bet and Win, who won the NZB Standardbred Uncut Gems on Friday night, just gone, beating Galway Girl and Mighty Logan. But this horse is flying, and he's on his way to the Constellations Carnival in Queensland over the winter months. Of course, the Great Square will be his main target, being a 4-year-old. And I think there's some more updates going to happen to those races very, very shortly. But it was a massive, massive week. Of course, Just Believe winning again, but Muscle Mountain, Benny Hope, he made it a race. Brecken Farms, outstanding couple of breeding results over there for those guys as well. Then we went to New South Wales, and some great trotting races everywhere. We went to New South Wales on Saturday night. I was lucky enough to be there for the Oaks. We're going to get Paddy Lee on a little bit later on, hopefully, over the phone. I've said that with a little bit of intrepidation because they can be hard to get hold of. They've been racing all day at Hamilton. So we'll get those on after the win of Kiang. Now, I'm going to get it wrong, so I'm going to put it in front of me. Zahara, I'll go with Zahara, maybe. Zahara, Z-A-H-A-R-A. Beautiful filly now, 3 from 3 in what was a terrific race. And then I'm Ready Jet, Queen Elida. Amazing little race that was too. So, Stuart Turner, hello to you, my friend. Heading your way soon. The weather's getting better too. So, yeah, I don't know if you're going to the Vincent Delaney Memorial, but if you are, I will be there, so we better catch up when we're there. So I'm really looking forward to that myself and Mark Hughes from Woodlands. So plenty going on. This is a show where we talk trotters. Michael Wells, hello to you, where we talk the trotters and get the message out there for the trotters. But please get involved. Campbell's comments will also still have in the next up and coming couple of weeks, in a couple of days, sorry, we will have Over the Ditch with Maddie Markham. And then we'll also have On Loose Lines on Wednesday night as well. And we're going to continue to evolve these shows and get the message out there. But at the end of the day, it is a trotting show tonight. They're all shows about harness racing. So if you've got some news, got some stories, get involved. Let's have a little bit of fun. I had this one up. Anyone wondering, it's a cup holder, Harness Life. It's from the team at NZB. So, Harness, HRNZ, get into trouble. Must also say to Cameron Bray, happy birthday to you, Cameron. I reckon we might be pushing 5-0, but we're not sure. So anyway, happy birthday to you, Cam. He's got the Wheeling sales coming up very, very shortly on May 23rd. So please get involved in the show. We will now, I'll try and get hold of them. I just said I'd give them a little bit extra time. One, I wasn't organised. And hopefully they've been able to put the young fella down. We'll just see how we go. We've got someone.
Hi, Paul.
Hello, Stace. I wasn't sure if we're gonna get anyone or not. I thought, well, we better just we'll be a bit tentative and go from there.
We wouldn't field your call.
Nah, yeah, right. Some people do. It was going to be a real good show because apparently I didn't have my audio turned on for the start of it, which makes it all a little bit trickier sometimes. I can't say that much at all. Firstly, thank you very much for joining me. We're going to cover off on a few things, but I gave it David's there as well. I want to congratulate you two on, bet and win for a start. Just the job that he's doing, it's just outstanding.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. He's doing a terrific job at the moment, and hopefully we've got some exciting things to look forward to with him.
Well, you have got some exciting things to look forward to. Hopefully they're winning things, but it's. I've got some of the Queensland guys on. It must be great to get an invite, to a race series that's been going, I think, 3 or 4 years, and every year keeps evolving in that. And this race, the Great Square, it's a second running. It's sponsored by Trotters. It's a second running of it. It must be so great to have got an invite to a young race, great stake money, but a race that's going to stand the test of time by the looks of it.
Yeah, no, what Racing Queensland look to be doing up there with their entire carnival, not just this race, it's really grown year to year over, especially the last 3 or 4 years, and adding a trot race like this, for the young up and coming trotters, there's not too many others around like it, so it's a great opportunity for us to be able to get over there, and hopefully it'll help with the development of the horse in the future as well.
And we've been targeting it for a while with him, so it's often we know with horses that things don't go to plan. More often than not, things don't go to plan. So for it all to at this stage be looking like it's going to work out, it's obviously fantastic.
You said for a while, Stace, Christmas time?
Yeah, after he won up at Auckland on New Year's Eve, we were us and Bob Butt sat down and sort of worked out where we would go after that, and the boys found this race in Queensland. So pretty much New Year's Day, I think, they came up with the plan, and I believe Bob was messaging Chris Barsby asking for the conditions and things that day to see if he'd be eligible. So yeah, pretty much since the start of the year, we've been eyeing it up after he won so well in Auckland.
So there's already some good insight that a lot of people may not know. Like, you've got an invite. You got an invite off being proactive, and proactive 6 months ago too. So I would imagine Queensland would have been rapt to know that you guys were thinking about it. They may not have even been aware of your horse at that stage, and then all of a sudden they get to see the development. No, well, I mean, I know one person that was, but he was a little bit up and down prior to there. Like he'd won a couple of races, and I think, where was it, Timaru? Yeah, he was super impressive on that day, and I thought, you've got him right, and then a couple of nice placings, but he was just hovering a little bit, and then it was the race. And if Matty's watching, he'll just get into the fetal position underneath the desk again right now. But it was on the 15th of December leading up to Christmas where he ran third, that it was just like, oh man, this bloke is the real deal. And I know that might sound a bit funny. He could not handle that track, and he was still massive just to be able to run third on that occasion.
Yeah, and he actually carried a flat tyre for 2,500 of that race as well. So that's, just added to the sort of merit of the run. Obviously, we sort of knew before we sent him up there that he was quite a smart horse, and that's why we took the punt to fly him up there and target that series, because it was a $50,000 final. But it was great that we managed to take that punt, and it actually managed to pull it off, which was great.
Yeah, it is. I'm just going to I've got it up now. As I said, there'll be one person won't be that happy with this, but he'll be right. He'll get over it. But this is him last, or just pointed there. I can actually point with the mouse. Oh no, I can't. Not that mouse. It's this mouse. Got too many things happening here. He all but galloped. Then again on Bob there, but he must have a great desire to win, does he, David? Like, it's just again, he only runs third on this occasion. Anyone watching, don't worry, he doesn't win it, but that's him right out wide underneath me, basically. He just wants to get there, doesn't he? Well, he appears to anyway.
Yeah, no, he's always had a great attitude, and he's been good to work with. Obviously early in his career, he had a few little issues with his gait that sort of held him back a little bit. But that night was probably the start of him really, the penny starting to drop with him, and he's just gone from there.
Yep.
And Bob did such a good job to get him around in one piece that night, because it was pretty awful to watch him. But yeah, Bob did a fantastic job, and obviously Maddie White and Bridget up there, they looked after him and did a great job getting him used to going that way around and doing all the work behind the scenes. And he was there too. So yeah, it was a big team effort.
He was outstanding in the final too. That was the best part about him. Got a few Kiwis on there actually. Oamaru Retreat, I know who that is. Gayleen McKinnon as well. Hello to you, Gayleen. So we've got a few Kiwis actually watching. The final though, it was amazing, the transformation in him, the difference in the horse in that final. I'm not going to show it. He was just faultless, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Matty did a terrific job with him up there in the time between the two runs, just to get him steering a bit better, so he'd handle those bends the way he did in the final. Yeah,
and he's a lovely horse. Does he have an issue, David? Is there a slight issue with him that because I believe Bob took him to the beach for you for a while?
Yeah, it was more just he was a bit immature and just going around the track at home all the time. Was sort of just starting to niggle his hocks a wee bit, and that was causing a couple of other little issues. That it was pretty much just immaturity though, and we decided that we were trying to get him to New Zealand Derby because we figured that the motor was there, that he could get a piece of that, and we thought that sending him out the bob and work down the beach in the straight line would give him the best chance to get there. And it just did a world of good for his confidence, which has made him the horse he is now.
The Trotting Derby is 2 weeks after the Cup Carnival?
Yeah, it was the start of December. So it was a couple of weeks after he won at Timaru, but he ended up just being a little bit too lowly rated because he got crooked before Timaru and missed a couple of runs.
Fair to say, I might know a couple of people that weren't happy about him being balloted actually for, what was it, eight fillies might have got a start ahead of him.
You're probably talking to two of them.
Yeah,
that's okay. We've moved on.
We've moved on from that now. In the long run, I think the trip to Auckland's done him the world of good, and it's sort of made him as a horse. So there's always a silver lining.
I'm not doing any good for the Markhams tonight. I know that. I'm ripping scabs off left, right, and centre here at the minute. I did forget about that because I was looking through his form, and I'm like, he didn't take part in it. But yeah, that's right. And I think rightfully so, since because he should have won his last four. That race I showed you there at Queensland was at Alexandra Park was one of those. He returned 2 weeks ago, 18th of April. He returned and he was terrific. And then last week in the Uncut Gems, I thought he was absolutely outstanding. And anyone who's not aware, of this horse, if they watch that race, and actually I've got to flick it over straight here because. I reckon this is a great run. We were all worried, used to, when Bobby's doing as much work. He's in the yellow colours, anyone wondering, that's him in the yellow colours, just there getting outside the horse in front. Were you guys at all worried the amount of work Bob was doing early?
Not really. It's he's a pretty good stayer, and he sort of did a bit of work around that first bend, but once he got the top, Bob was able to control it pretty well, and even though they went pretty good time, that's one thing he's sort of got in his favour. He's got a pretty high cruising speed, and he can just sort of sustain those 30, 31 quarters. He'll run them all day and still sprint pretty well at the finish.
He's got a great tank. He's got a good way of relaxing too, by the looks, David.
Yeah, he gets he just travels nice, in his work and everywhere. He's on the job, but he just travels nice, He definitely doesn't overexert himself pulling too much, which is good.
Yeah, and then he really lets down here. I'll let the race go. There's a Go Away Girl on his back. Mighty Logan outside of him. Bobby was confident because he's got them all off the bit here. And if I had Matt's call going over the top, even Matt said he's got them all off the bit and chasing. I was a bit worried for you, but obviously you guys and Bobby knew what you had underneath you.
Yeah, when you talk to Bob, he's pretty excited about him.
I think we were both a bit more confident last week than we were 2 weeks before when he was in the trail and Mighty Logan came flying down the outside and sort of put 2 lengths on him, and we kind of went, oh no, he's going to run a nice second. But yeah, the way he dug in that start 2 weeks ago, we were probably a little bit more nervous, but he did the job, went really good. So yeah, last week wasn't as hard of a watch, was it?
No, it was much more stress-free this week.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys say it's stress-free because I just loved it. I loved it. I was watching it. I actually watched it live. A lot of the races in New Zealand, I will be honest, I watch in repeat just because of replay because of the timing difference. It can be hard sometimes, but I made a point of watching his race. I actually pulled the car over to watch it, and which is a big thing for me. But yeah, it was really good to watch, and I was cheering for him. I was nervous, so I'll say that beforehand. How the what's the association with Bob? Either of you guys, like, how did that come about?
No, we made the call sort of when we thought that a stint at the beach could do the horse good. That Bob's horses always race good, and we've get on good with him. So we just decided that he'd be the best place to send him.
And he had a bit of a smaller team than some of the trainers out there, so obviously they do a great job out at the beach, but because he's sort of always had a bit of one-on-one attention, we thought we'd go to a smaller barn too. So Bob does a great job looking after each of his horses. So
anyway, I'm wondering, this is not a plug, although I did see Bobby on Saturday night. He was in fine form too. They were on their way into the city when I saw him, so
he travelled pretty well, Bob.
He was in some good company too. Don't worry, they were all pretty well having a good night, as you Kiwis can do. Although Dave, you can't say that. He has, like, he's got a swimming hole on his farm. So on his farm, you actually can swim them. He's got access to 2 great tracks, a good jogging track and a fast work track. He's also got a treadmill, and then they've got paddocks, green paddocks, shelters, a whole box and dice. But then this wood end beach, and David, I'd imagine for yourself, a young man from Wagga, probably the first time you went and saw that, you would have been blown away like I was. And anyone that hasn't seen it, it's unbelievable, isn't it? Just the track to get to the beach is a workout in itself. Like, it's just an amazing place to visit, and must be so good on so many of these horses that have issues.
Yeah, no, I think it can be very beneficial for anything that sort of needs trotters, especially like being able to work the straight line. Because so many of them, when they're just trying to learn to really extend, you hit a bend at a bit of speed, and they can sort of start touching themselves a bit or something, and lose their confidence, make a mistake. So it was so good for him just to help build his confidence, and he's been able to sort of take that back to the racetrack, which is good. Yeah.
Have you driven a horse on it, Dave?
No, I haven't actually. Well, the whole time he was at Bob's, I just stayed out of Bob's way and let him do his thing. Yeah.
I know the first time, this is, I don't like making it about me, but I remember going to John Dunn's and they said, you can drive one over the beach if you want. And I'm like, oh yeah. So the next day I got up and I didn't actually go and look at it the first day. So I went back there the second day and I drove Artie by the hill, who, Metropolitan class trotter. I think he ran second over that carnival when I was there. And I'm driving them to the beach and I'm thinking to myself, wow, here's a workout in itself. Then they go and work them, and then the poor horses have to get back. Like, they have three workouts. It's just, it's something to watch. And you got to go and have a drive, Dave. You'll have to ring up Bob or someone and say you need a drive on it just to appreciate it. It's so pretty and pristine, but also then to drive on it is just amazing. And you can see why horses grow legs when they go there. It's just something very different.
Yeah, well, when we've actually organised a stay with Gail Geeson and Vic Frost stuff when we travel up to Queensland, they work them down the beach up there. So I'm looking forward to getting over there, and it'll probably be a little bit warmer than Wood End as well at that time of year.
Yeah, I will say Kirsten Green showed me the coldest one down there when I went down to watch her work. I didn't drive down there. That was freezing that day, but that's okay. That's totally different. How'd the Trotters come about, Dave?
Probably started when I was working for Blake Fitzpatrick in about 2011 or 12, I suppose. I spent a couple of years there with Blake, and you had a terrific bunch of trotters there. A lot of the Harris Trotters or Yabby Dam Farms, the Pat Driscoll there. It's quite funny now. I look at the a lot of the brood mares that a lot of Pat's top trotters are out of now, and I used to drive the mothers of them and stuff like that. So I'm starting to feel a little bit old, but that was sort of the first introduction to them for me. There's not too many. Well, there's none of them around the Riverina where I grew up and got involved. So that was how it started for me. And once you drive a nice trotter, I don't think the paces quite compare to it.
No, I think you're spot on. I think that's where everyone does. I suppose get caught up, if you like, in the love of the trotters is through that association, if you like, with those. No, Heavens Above wasn't one of those horses, I don't think, was it, that he had? I was just thinking then, I was trying to think of a couple of the horses Blake had.
I'm Ready Set. She was a really good mare. She could put it, but she's obviously the dam of
I'm Ready Jet, and I'm
Ready Jet.
Yep.
And she's been a great producer, and even the mother of Royal Dan, I just can't think of her name. She was one that we had there as well. There was a whole heap of
Royal Treat,
really nice mares that we had.
Royal Treat, David, and I'm cheating.
Yeah,
I have my computer. How good was he? And the drive by the New Zealander the other day, Jack Trainer. And I thought the horse was bolting the other night, but he was trying to break the track record. That's how much confidence he got in this horse. They know how good he is. They dead set were trying to break the track record the other night. Go and watch the last race at Menangle if you haven't watched one, and you'd be thinking, what is he doing, even though I've told you the punchline. But no, he was happy to try and smash the track record. So, yeah, which is ridiculous. How long have you been in New Zealand for, Dave?
Coming up 10 years, I think it will be in September now. So a little bit longer than the first plan, but it's just the way things have worked out.
You meet a girl, that happens to sort of most people. Your life gets spun on its head. Did you just go over for a working holiday, or was there a plan to go over there for a while? Or
I was just sort of planning to come over here and just meet a few people and gain some more experience on the training side of things. Probably initially when I was coming to the end of my junior driver's time and over there, and it can get quite difficult to get outside drives and stuff like that without a claim. So I figured if I wanted to stay involved in the industry, I'd have to go down the training side of things. So I thought coming over here and getting a bit more experience would stand me in good stead.
Yep. Yeah, Christy Barton's listening too, so you better be careful, because I know you're related. I don't know how, but I do know you're all related. So cousins, or
she's one of my cousins.
I'll get into trouble if I say too much. You now work for Stonewall on the South Island. It's a massive operation. You enjoy that?
Yeah, it's fantastic setup, fantastic operation here, and we've got a lot of quality horses, and it's a great place to be involved with. Starting
to get a few trotters going in round two.
Yeah, I keep pointing out to Stocky that if he wants to have as many horses as he has in work, and about 40% of the races are trotting races, he sort of needs some. So I keep pointing that out to him.
Elizabeth Hill, she was actually okay the other night. I now know I was talking to the birthday boy Cam Bray earlier, and he said we'll be touching on What the Hill, which I will be, Stacey, in a second, about the Wheeling sales of that. And he goes, well, you're talking to the best one. And then I realise now who it is, because he owns a small share in Elizabeth Hill, Cam does. But she was actually okay at her return. She's a funny little mare, but she was okay on her return to the track.
Yeah, no, she's actually not a bad mare. She just had a couple of wee issues with her feet, and that she got a couple of abscesses there last winter, and they turned into quarter cracks, and she just had a couple of wee issues with them. So but I think she's on the way back, and she's actually got quite a bit of speed. She'll do a good job.
The other horse, and I know you haven't probably, well, you may have, but he's mainly trained on the North Island, is Jockers Hill. He is a serious horse if they can get him right. He obviously has a few little quirks, but he was in a purple patch of form there for a while, and he looks a serious horse.
Yeah, he has plenty of speed, and I know they rate him quite highly up there. So, yeah, I'm sure with a little bit more experience and a bit more maturity, you know, a lot of the trotters need that, don't they? Just going around and around. I'm sure the penny will drop with him, and he'll get through to, you know, somewhere near open class, if not open class, I think.
Yeah, no, it's good. Yourselves, you guys trained together. You only trained this one horse, is that correct?
Oh, we got three.
Well, lucky I clarified that. So you've been training together for 10 years, just the best part of 10 years, is that true?
Yeah, about seven, I think. Yeah, since we took the licence out here. Yeah.
As a
only very small numbers.
Yeah, you had 495 starters, 67 winners.
Nope.
No.
See, that's where it had me confused. So
I think we've had 49 starters.
Yeah.
Nine.
Oh,
nine
sorry, I
winners
put a
and 12
5.
placing.
Oh, that's something totally different. What is that, I wonder? That's oh, I know what that is, Stace. That's for us in a minute. It's okay. Yes, I did look at this stat. Sorry, it's for that's what the Hill stats. We'll get to that in a sec. I was like, I should have put a topping over the top of it. I didn't do that. No, you're right. 49 starters and 9 winners. So 1 every 5 starts. That's just a terrific record. You must be so proud of that. The pair of you, that when you do send them to the races, you know, you're giving them your best shot.
Yeah, we're, you know, obviously not doing massive numbers. We're pretty selective about, you know, the ones that we do line up, and I'm not a real good loser, so I don't like going to the races just to make the numbers up.
Who had the horse in 2021 then? Who was winning? I know you weren't winning the arguments, David, but you had a horse had you had 17 starters and only the 1 win. That's your worst year. There must have been one horse that was had an itch to scratch for the pair of yous.
It must have been Far From True, I think, was it? Was that her?
I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. I think it was Far From True, probably.
Yeah.
She ran a lot of good races, and she's one of Stacey's favourites. But she actually did a good job.
She's a monkey bones mare, trotter.
Yep. Oh, is that the mother of the grey horse that Anna Donnelly shot?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's her.
Look at me going, I know all of that.
Yeah.
But you must be
soreness.
Yeah, you guys must be really proud of that strike rate though. Like nearly your UDR is nearly 1 in 3 or 0.3. So you know you're 2.925. Like you're that close to it. It's ridiculous. So it's a good little strike rate for a small team. What are the rest? Are they all trotters?
We've got a filly out of Far From True by What the Hill.
Yep.
She's just a yearling, so we've just done a month with her, just trotting around. She's not doing much yet, obviously. And then we've got a 2-year-old Better's Delight filly that we've leased off Woodlands out of an Art Major mare. Miss Graceful was her name. So she's just come back into work. She's just had a bit of a spell. So, yeah. Bettenwin's probably the only one really flying the flag at the moment.
But he's doing an awesome job. Louise Tillman's watching. We've got a Sarah White watching. I don't know if she's related or not. She could be though. But
my sister.
Yep. I thought so when I saw it. That's why I thought that's a name I better drop. Dave, do you want to go out on your own before because I'm going to talk to Stacey a bit about the weanling sales and that coming up. But you're just yourself. Do you want to go out on your own? Are you happy staying at Stonewall as one of the what actually is your official title there at Stonewall?
I'm the stable foreman down here in the South Island, so no, I'm quite happy where we are at the moment, and it'd be quite hard going back to reality after working the facilities here.
Yep.
I mean, eventually, you know, who knows what's going to happen, you know, 10, 15 years time or whatever it is, but you know, for the foreseeable future, things are pretty good here.
It's a very unique place in a way, isn't it? Like Stacey's dad works there, and live. You know, you guys basically live next door. You're on the place. It is a big family, no matter where you are. Like, and it is a big operation. It's a big business, but you are like a big family. Like I know one day I just drove in and everyone sort of. I'm getting told off by Bardo because Sarah White does all. She does all nutrient socials. That's what she does. So he's watching as well. Don't worry, they're all watching me at the minute. But it is a big family there, Stonewall, isn't it? It's quite a unique thing. The day I drove in, anyone wondering, there was a worker driving out, so I just drove into the gates that are all locked up, and everyone was like, "How do you get in here?" But then no one really cares, Timmy. No one sort of. It's just like, oh, you're here, and you just go from there. It's quite a, I don't know, true New Zealand place, I suppose, in a way, but it's very unique as well.
Yeah. The Kiwi hospitality is usually pretty good, sort of no matter where you go. Whether you go down south and you struggle to get away from them without having a couple of beers, and it's just a Kiwi thing. I think everyone's real welcoming and just enjoy having a yarn and everyone's company.
Yeah, it is actually Paul White's watching as well. I've got a rough idea who he is, but you got to go down there. I encourage people to go down there, and I think when they do go down there, reach out to Stonewall in some form and go and have a look at the property, because it is state of the art. This new property, it's just amazing, isn't it, David?
Yeah, for sure. The facilities and the money that they're pouring in here is just absolutely unbelievable, and it's good the way the horses are racing. He's starting to get a bit of it back.
And we're obviously very lucky that we've got a straight line track here, so Bet and Win uses that very regularly. So, when you can't have the beach, that's the next best thing.
Yeah, it's a unique one too, because make people jealous. It's even got an area where you can work them on a grass. You can get them a little bit accustomed to the grass track as well, David.
Yeah. There's not much here, not much that hasn't been thought of, with Steve Stockman. The way he's designed things and what he's built. Yeah.
It's a scary operation. David, thank you. You're welcome to stay on the conversation. Don't worry about that. But I just want to get a few things with. What did he bolt? Did he, Stace?
No,
he's still here.
What was going to? Oh, Paul White wrote that he's watching. That's pretty cool, actually. I didn't realise that part. I was looking. There was a note there, and I'm like, what's that one say? What the hell? He had a brilliant weekend as well. Things are really he's really starting to hit the ground running now, Stace. It can be hard with the trotters sometimes, but like a weekend like with Bet and Win, and then the first race was Queen Kazan. It's an interesting name. I saw Kaizen. It's a very interesting name. Of course, Queen Alita's younger sister, and she looks a horse with a big future as well.
Gosh, yeah, she's ultimate professional.
Yep.
Just goes out and doesn't put a foot wrong. Obviously, Tony Barron's a good friend of Woodland Stud, so to see them getting some success with her is fabulous. She went out paying big money on her first start, and I said to David she wouldn't be the worst, but we didn't actually back her. But she's gone on and done it again, so that was good. But also in that race, I think was one to watch.
I'm trying. I actually forgot about it. Bit. No, you're right. You keep going. You're fine. I'll actually show them why you're doing it. I actually forgot about it. I do too many things. Don't worry.
No, you're good.
That's her galloping. John.
You're right, Dal.
Yeah, John Dunn's horse. Anyone wondering, it's galloping. I'm going to let you talk in a sec, Stace. I was just saying, and it just tailed off there at the back of the picture. You're right. You keep talking, Stace. Now you're fine.
Well, I actually, because we had only just arrived on track when the race was on, so I actually only watched the replay today. But you actually don't see it for most of the race.
No.
And then sort of around that last bend, it sort of just comes trotting into it. And it probably ran past some tired ones, but for the amount of ground that it made up in the running, I think that was a pretty impressive sort of a run. And if they can get her manners right, I'd say she'd be picking one up soon. She's actually a What the Hill Weanling graduate from Woodland Stud too. So the Duns brought her back in 2022 for $8,000. So yeah, hopefully they'll get a bit of that money back soon.
You won't see her here. You can just see her legs at the top of the screen then, anyone wondering. Then that's it. Queen Kazan's done all the work. She did a lot of work in this race as well to get to the front. And then that's as much as you can see of the horse of Duns. And I'm just going to get it to about the last 400 here in a minute, because you don't see it anymore in the picture, do you? It's ridiculous. I was showing Marie when I was watching a replay of this race. I said, you got to watch this horse. And she's like, what am I watching for? These horses trot home in a minute, and I think 28.9 or something like that their last quarter. She's still not in the picture, Stace. I'm sorry. I didn't. Now she just gets into the picture. Now watch the horse in the dun colours. Obviously, watch the leader. Very professional little filly, and Johnny Morris does a great job just looking after up the straight too. He's not over driving her, but she would have. John's horse would have only ever ran third, but it would have run probably an easier third if he hadn't got that little check halfway up the straight as well. And it's really exciting for What the Hill, and and for Woodlands and for the Weanling sale, as you said, that's on in a couple of weekends.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for us, he couldn't probably do much more than what he's doing. They're sort of doing it at all ages. He's the leading sire of 4-year-olds here at the moment, and I haven't seen the updated list this week, but he's second or third on the 2-year-old and 3-year-old lists as well, with some really promising types coming through. So I think he's set for a big season this season, and most of the big stables have got them and they like what they've got. Potentially some of them need a bit more time, but a lot of trotters do. I mean, we know with Bet and Win, he's got better as he's got older, but they seem to want to do it. And What the Hill, I mean, you can't fault him on his breeding, being a son of Muscle Hill out of a full sister to Majestic son. So, I mean, he's got all the qualities of a good stallion in the making. So, no, very excited about him and what's in the pipelines for him and what progeny's going to leave on the track.
So he's had 495 starters in New Zealand. This is 67 winners, 75 seconds and 65 thirds, over $1 million in stake money. He was a leading 3-year-old sire last year. He's the leading 4-year-old sire at the minute. But a lot of Australians, and unfortunately maybe for you guys too, there was Love Me Too, who won a heat of the Derby here in Victoria, but unfortunately didn't quite go right. He's made his way down here now, Merv Butterworth's horse. So Chris Finozio's got him, and I think they're eyeing off a trip to Queensland as well, just to make you guys feel better, but he'll be up there. But he's a seriously good horse, and if Chris can get him worked out, he won the Northern Derby from memory, and he is a very, very good horse.
Yeah, no, for sure. He was sort of the headline act for What the Hill last season and did a great job. He was 3-year-old trotting colt or gelding of the year here last year. So I'm sure he'll go on to do good things. And we did hear that he might be in Queensland, so it would be great to have two What the Hills battling each other in the Great Square. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, and look, What the Hill probably has enough knockers out there that might quieten a few of them down. That one of the feature races, he's going to have two live chances in the race as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, trotting's a hard game. We all know that.
Yep.
You either love them or you hate them. There's not much in between. But pretty much one of the reasons that we brought Bet and Win was because when I saw What the Hill, who's called Benny, in the flesh when he first arrived at Woodlands, he is one of the most magnificent horses I've ever seen in my life, on type, conformation, everything. Like he's the full package. And I mean, he's leaving it a lot in his progeny. They all look a lot like him. So hopefully, we can only hope, but hopefully he's looking like he could be one of our next best trotting sires. Yep,
I agree. And you only have to go back and look at his own race record. He was an outstanding horse. I forget what he won. He beat the old horses as a 3-year-old. The TVG.
He won the TVG.
Yep.
And he beat Pinkman and I want to say Crazy Wow. Could be wrong there. But I think there was like 3 or 4 millionaires in that race, and he beat them as a 3-year-old.
Yep.
And he also actually did win the Hambletonian, but he ended up getting disqualified. It's a very controversial race. But it is worth a look because, I mean, I think the horse deserved to win it for sure. And I don't know that there was much in it to lose the race. I know they took it to court, but I think, the damage was done by then. But no, he was a terrific racehorse. And it was just what our industry needed, I think, a fresh seaman, trotting sire standing in New Zealand that had done such a good job up in North America.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I think he's doing a great job. And as I say, the trotting game can be very, very fickle. We had Louise Toolman on there, like Arasta Trotters, put a lot of money in, and you scratch your head sometimes because seems to be more knockers out there than people that want to get behind them. And I think, horses like him that are over here, they've got to get behind them and celebrate them. And, I tried. That's what this show's about. It used to be the What the Hill trotting show. I'm trying to make it so we can include everyone. But, yeah. Benny, I never knew his nickname, mate. You got to teach Hughesy his nickname. I never knew that was his stable name as well. So it's actually...
yeah, well, I think it was something to do with Benny Hill,
of course.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Typical Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes might have his hands all over that by the sounds. So, but
potentially. I can't remember who came up with that, but it could have been Mark Hughes.
I wouldn't doubt it. It's actually funny because I was having a right giggle to myself there. The returning champ gets an automatic entry back into the race, the Great Square, and that's London to a Brick, of course, the son of Bettor's Delight. So Woodland's going to have three-sided horses. One of the great anomalies of the King, isn't it? I think he's had 8 individual Group 1 winners, and the Great Square doesn't count as a Group 1 either. So races like that as well. So does an amazing job, that's for sure. Don't know how he trialled. He was down the trial.
Apparently trial good. We've been keeping an eye on him.
I bet you have. Maybe I better off ringing you guys for all me form. Actually, that's probably a good idea. I should do that, and then it'll save me a bit of time. He was down the trial last Tuesday. I'll get that up in a sec. Woodlands have got 10 weanlings. I'm going to say 10, might be 11 weanlings by... it is 11, sorry. What the Hill?
Yeah, 11, 8 fillies, 3 colts.
And that is on May the 23rd, and we want people to be aware of those, but people can also inquire about all of those by giving you guys at Woodlands a call, Stace.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm heading up there tomorrow for probably the rest of the week to get all the photos and videos done, so they'll be up. Photos will be done sort of as I do them, hopefully, and then videos will be up early next week at the latest. So have a look at those, and then any questions, Tony Grayling's a great one to call. He's sort of dealing with them every day, but definitely myself or Cameron are more than happy to take calls, and we will both have seen most of them. Well, I would have seen all of them, and Cameron would have seen most of them by the end of the week as well. So absolutely give us a call. We're more than happy to assist where we can, and hopefully there's going to be some more Group 1 winners come out of this draft. Yep, and Cam Grant, who's going to be there. Cam Bray will probably help you as well from NZB, but Cam Grant, he'll be there and be able to give you a hand as well. Caligula is the horse that beat London to a Brick, and he beat Utopia home. It was a short half head between those two horses. Not a bad trial, 156.4 around Menangle over the mile. So it looks like he's coming back pretty good, that's for sure. London to a Brick, so which is exciting. Maybe not for you guys, but it is for the industry. So we need horses. Well, we need all these good trotters going. It's great to have these trotters going. I think it's so good. So 100%. We're going over there to race, not to. we expect that it'll be a good field for sure. So. Hopefully you can do us proud, but we don't expect it to be an easy ride, that's for sure.
I think he's already done you guys proud. I think the job that he's done and the job you guys are doing has just been outstanding with him, full stop. So, Stace, I will let you go. Do you get a direct flight straight to Albion Park? Do you and that with Richard Cole being one of the owners? How does the trip go? Like, is it a long trip to get him up there to Queensland, or?
Believe it or not, that's probably one of the key bits we're still waiting to organise. I know IRT are working very hard behind the scenes to try and get direct into Brisbane, but it's not actually the easiest thing to do. Speaking to Richard, he was actually there for the race on Friday night, which was awesome to have him on course and celebrating with us. But he was saying that it's getting closer to having things set, but hopefully we'll get straight into Brisbane. But possibly more looking like we might be able to fly from Christchurch to Auckland to Sydney, and then truck from there to Queensland. So, we're just waiting for all of that to be confirmed. But I'm sure, regardless of what happens, we'll get him there, and hopefully he can do what the hell and us proud.
Oh, yeah, I think he will. There'll be no hassles there, and you and Jess Tubbs can sit up there and have a holiday and don't have to stress. So it's all good. So it's pretty cool. Last week's show, I was going to say, last week's show you guys organised the whole trip, so you were fine while we were doing the trip. So
Jess messaged me during the week and said she's still trying to look for one to take up there. So
unfortunately,
she's working hard, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the little filly was a little bit of a head scratcher for him on Saturday night. So yeah. But anyway, Just Believe just was out.
You should have heard Stacey blowing up at Greg. What are you doing out there? You're ruining our trip.
You're not supposed to say that.
Yeah, but hopefully she's okay. Poor old Greg. He shows a lot of emotions on his face, and he wasn't a happy man Saturday night. Like, he rocked up and he was on cloud nine, and rightfully so. His horses went sensational at Alexandra Park, and then, yeah, he had one of those nights. He does show a lot on his face, the boy, that's for sure. But he's good fun, and he's a good friend of you guys as well. So the fact that you...
And he's a great driver, David.
He goes okay at that too. There's no hassles there. He does go okay at that part as well. So I can't get him to drive. I can't get him to drive one for us anymore. I couldn't tell you the last... He's got one of the best strike rates ever with us, but we know he just won't drive our horses. He's a bloody bugger of a bloke, but that's okay.
Must want to keep that strike rate up.
Yeah, not that we have any issues with any of our drivers at the minute either. Please don't worry about that. It's it's the way that it does work. David, just very, very quickly, I'm glad you're still there. I wasn't sure. Do you admire Cam, because your cousin's with Cam Hart? Like, do you sit back and just admire it from New Zealand, the job that he's doing and the way that he, I don't know, just keeps driving these big race winners and also presents himself?
It's obviously, grew up sort of together and, learn everything we sort of know from Trevor back home, sort of before we branched out a bit. And he's just done an amazing job. The way he, like you said, presents himself in the media, and, he's always really available for interviews and stuff like that. And just the job he does on the tracks just, it makes us really proud to see how good he's doing.
Yeah, I'm blown away by the guy. I just I ask him for an interview and he just gives me one every time. Doesn't matter who he's talking to, he'll just lines up and gives me an interview. I think he's outstanding. So, guys, thank you very, very much for joining me. Good luck. Hopefully, I'm going to see you in Queensland. I was actually negotiating that, so I'm some chance. Apparently, it's at my people will talk to your people, so I'm some chance. We don't know if I can get the rest of it across the line, but I will see you, Stace, Weanling Sales.
Yes.
On the 20th.
Maybe later in the week.
Sorry?
And maybe later in the week, possibly.
This week?
Yeah, on video chat.
Oh, are we going again, are we? I thought you were done tonight. I thought I was letting you off after this. Look at you go, Little Miss Media. I'm happy with that.
You told me you were ringing later in the week for weanlings.
Yes, but you handballed that to Cam Grant, so I'm letting you off now. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your job.
That's great.
Your job. Oh, actually, very quickly, there are 2 speeding spurs as well. The farm favourite as well.
Yes, there are.
Yes. And 41 other weanlings. So if anyone wants to,
2 colts.
They're both colts, are they?
Yes, both colts. Yeah.
Very good. Stace, thank you. Thank you for everything you do for me behind the scenes as well with Woodlands. Always very much appreciated. You make me look good, even when I don't even turn the audio on today, which that happens quite a lot, but that's okay. But thank you very much, and congratulations to both you with Bet and Win getting an invite, but also just the run you're having with him. Where does he step out next?
Looking at 2 weeks at Addington. There's a mobile, just a grade race there, but obviously it's mobiles over in Queensland, so we just want to give him another run or 2 behind them before he heads over, just to get his confidence up behind them. And we don't know the plan after that, but we'll get through that race hopefully, and then we'll make a plan from there.
No, very good. Thank you very much, guys. Love chatting, love finding out a little bit more about yous, and look forward to seeing you in Queensland. Hopefully Queensland are listening to that. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you both in Queensland when we see you then. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for all you do.
We have Stacey and David White on the phone. Really do appreciate them giving it time. That's what we're going to do with the trotting show, try and just continue to grow it. That's why it's no longer the Harass Trotters or the What the Hell Talking Trotters show. It is Talking Trotters. These guys will sponsor. I've got sponsors everywhere, and they will not miss out any of my sponsors. I don't want any of them to miss out. I need as many as I can to continue doing what I am doing, but also they're great sponsors. And of course, Harass Trotters are there on the bottom mat. Actually, we'll quickly put that one there. The Winter Woolies is still online. The online sale is still going. I think it's 2 more days going on. I will get Mark Barton to potentially come on the show on Wednesday if that's the case. If not, we'll get a little bit earlier. But they were meant to close today, but a birdie told me they won't be closing for a couple more days yet. Over 100 horses are already nominated for the Winter Woolies online sale for Nutrien. Just give Mark Barton a call or Gemma Smallman. Mark's number's scrolling across there at the minute at the bottom, 0419 488 256, and Gemma's number's there. You'll be able to go backwards and forwards, log on to nutrienequine.com. .au, and you'll be able to get across with all of those as well. So entries are still open, Barto's just said. So definitely get involved and go from there. 108 so far. Some real crackers. Last week we said the Captain Treacherous makes every sense. Gelding now. Jackie Gibson's horse will be there. So some really nice horses going to that sale, which is exciting going forward. Rightio. Let's see. This next guest, I don't actually... for a few more days, Mark Barton's just sent me a message, so I'll get him on on Loose Lines. He nearly has his own spot on Loose Lines, but we'll try and get him on there if we can and see how we go. But this is not Mark Barton. Ooh. Paddy.
What's going on?
Paddy, look, you're live, mate, so that's all good. Don't worry. I'm more than happy to hear your voice. Of course, I've got Paddy Lee. Now, Paddy, I've done you an injustice, mate. I haven't got a photo of you to put up to say that you're here talking with me. I apologise for that part.
No, that's all right. You're probably doing me a favour.
I don't think so. Hamilton today, you guys have had a pretty solid day at Hamilton, I think, haven't you?
Had a busy day there, just not much luck. Yeah. But we take that every now and again.
You do have those. We do have those days from time to time, don't we, where things don't go right. It's interesting. Every time I looked at a race, Jason was winning it, but obviously they weren't on your horses by the sounds.
Just wasn't on one of ours. We had one was 20 in front and jumped off at the top of the straight, so that sort of reads the day for you.
Who was driving it, Jason?
Glenn, so we can't blame Jason for that one.
You still can blame him. He'll probably be able to get off on a technicality, but that's okay. Mate, we're talking trotters, and I want to congratulate the farm and the family on the job you did on Saturday night, taking out the New South Wales Trotters Oaks with Kiang Zahara. Is that how we pronounce it?
Yep. Yeah, she did a good job, and proud win for the family, and especially on the road travelling, which is always a worry when you've got to take young horses off the farm for the first time and head up to Sydney. And she did a really good job, and Jason handled her well, and Mum had her ready to go in one piece. So it was a terrific win for the family.
I was lucky enough to be there, and I know you weren't able to be there, but I was lucky enough to be there. It was a great scene straight afterwards. It meant a lot to Mum, but Auntie was there as well. Lockie had a good night. He'd already driven a winner. Everyone was up and about a bit afterward. It was awesome to watch and be a part of.
Yeah, for sure. They wins, Group 1s don't come around every day of the week. So when you can grab one, you got to make sure you enjoy them. And I'm sure they enjoyed them. And sounds like Cookie was a man of his word to you. He said he was going to enjoy himself Saturday night, and by the sounds of it, he still hasn't serviced in Sydney. I think room service had to give him a poke on the back this morning to kick him out. So he was a man of his word to you.
that's good. He deserves it. This is a filly pulling out 3 deep. You probably can't see that at the minute. She's pulling out 3 deep. Jason, I don't think at any point looked overly worried, but just back there, about 300 from home, you could see how confident he was in the filly, just letting her balance up and just knew what he had underneath him. She's got a lovely stride on her. She's a good size filly, a lot going about her, but she still looks like a little bit of a lot more to unpack, if that makes sense. There's still a lot more there for you guys to be able to get a tap onto.
Yeah, she's got a beautiful gait. She, when she was a 2-year-old, she was probably ready to go, but she just got touching on herself a little bit behind when she was coming up to trial stage, and I think with her mother and a few others in the family, a little bit when they have got touching on themselves, they do get a bit rocky in behind. So Mug just chose to take the safe approach with her and turn her out and give her a spell and not push her too much early. And I think it's made her as a filly because the family can get a little bit hot as well in their gait, you know, and want to get ripping and tearing a little bit. And I think they, chose a good approach with giving her a spell and giving her time to mature and let her sort of find her feet herself. I mean, it was only her third start and that long straight of an angle, she looked beautiful up the straight when she stretched out, like you're saying. But I think comes back to Volstead a little bit too. It just shows that, you know, what the stallion's doing as a sire. He's leaving a good print on a lot of nice trotters, and he sort of left one on her as well. So very grateful that we've gone down that path with Volstead.
No, it was just interesting there because one thing about Volstead, he's precocious. The 2-year-olds are hitting the ground running. You know, the 3-year-olds, like they seem to have all come back. And from what I've seen, most of them seem sensible enough horses, if that makes sense. Like and you didn't say she wasn't sensible, but she just wasn't ready to go as that young horse. And then you look at her there. So obviously, if you have the right horse and you can take your time, they will reward her as well.
Yeah, 100%. Like we sort of, when we got looking for a stallion for the broodmare, you know, Pat Driscoll sort of pointed him out to us and said that, you know, he's got a long stretch and takes a really nice stride, and he thought he'd suit well over the broodmare, and it's come off wonders at the minute. And I know we've got another couple of Volsteads that we really like, and excited to see him coming back to stand again too, so we can get another crack at him. Yeah,
you've got she's a half to, well, she's not, she's a 3/4 to Kiang Zena, so she's there's a fair bit of breeding there in that. I was just looking actually at Kiang Yankee. She likes the fillies too, Paddy, by the looks. She 5 from 5.
Yeah, she's she's very good on the filly side of thing. We sort of, every time the breeding season comes around, it's really the only one I sort of jump out of bed to make sure that it's falling all right. I think Mum could sort of vouch for that one too. And you sort of race there to pick up the leg to see whether you got a filly or a colt. But she's throws the fillies, and she's got 2 Bold Eagle, a yearling, and a foal on her at the minute. So hopefully the next one we might be able to get a colt out of her. But you definitely, with her breeding and pedigree, you don't complain when she's throwing out fillies. And on that too, I have to thank Richard and Pauline Matthews. Richard's passed away now, but when we were first getting into the trotting game, he lent us the mare Dream Interest to get a foal out of, and it's led to all these fillies. And now David Matthews, his son, we've very good family friends with him and keeping good touch. I know Mum's good friends with Pauline, and they've been great to our family with letting us to breed out of that broodmare and get a couple of fillies. And that's sort of snowballed on to where we're at to today.
And they're still trying to get her in foal, unfortunately missing by the latest updates anyway. They've got Ruby's Dream of Tactical Landing, but then went to 6-pack and Tactical Landing again, and both have missed, unfortunately for them. That happens from time to time, doesn't it? It can be a frustrating game. Who picks the stallions, Paddy, with you guys with the trotters?
It's sort of, everyone sort of just has a look at the catalogue when they come out, and we sort of sit down and have a look at the lines and the pedigrees and sort of how they match. And I know with this one, Pat Driscoll was great with sort of pushing Volstead our way when we asked him what he thought of a stallion for the mare, and just with how I touched on before with the couple of the other foals in the family touching in behind, and he sort of inclined that the long stretch might give us a little bit more room. And it definitely shows with this filly. But it's not mainly Mum, sort of will pick most of the paces, and then I might have a little look at the trotters with her. I'm not into the breeding as much as Mum, but with the trotter side of things, I don't mind having a look at the stallions and seeing what we can find.
No, it's just interesting. Like, you went to 3 Cantab Hall stallions. That's where I was inquiring with Father Patrick Volstead, and then Pastor Stephen, of course, the 2-year-old. How does it go, Kiang Zia? Zaire.
Yep, it's nearly ready for a green trial. It's probably a little bit like keying Xena with its, they sort of get a little bit hormonal in that family and don't mind pig rooting, and, they sort of get very cramped up and very hard to train. She's probably more along those lines, but she's a nice filly. Haven't sort of pushed her too much yet, but she doesn't show the signs of the high speed that Zahara has, but she's more of probably one of the stronger of the 5 fillies that she's had put together, and she just sort of same sort of thing, just trots and does everything right, but is just sort of struggling with her manners a little bit in the stable at the minute.
Yeah, we got one of those at the trials tonight. I did the right thing though, Paddy. I just sent the girls in on their own. No point me being in there and getting hurt with her as well. No, we need someone to be around for the next day. They can be tricky, some of those, can't they?
Yeah, I think you've done the right thing there. Try and stay as far away as possible. But, it can make it tough. They can be tricky horses to train, but I think you just got to try and keep them happy. And free is the main one. If they're getting a little bit cramped up and not happy around the stables, they seem to want to carry on a little bit more, but they definitely become a little bit more difficult to train.
How many trotters in the team, mate?
Oh, you put me on the spot here. We'll be nearly getting towards half and half, but not quite that far yet. There might be 15 or 16 in work at the minute with a few young ones as well along the way.
You must be in your element. You and Auntie must be absolutely loving
it. Yeah, Auntie's he's got some good ideas, old wobbler. But yeah, no, he's been great for us. We have some good fun. You sort of go off up the straight track on a couple of trotters, and you don't have to worry about listening to Jason when you leave the barn. So it's probably not a bad thing the more trotters you have.
Yeah. Now, she steps out this weekend in the Trotters Derby, New South Wales Trotters Derby. It can be a big ask for fillies to beat the boys. Last year, it happened 4 times. 4 times in the Southern Hemisphere anyway, with Rockin' With Attitude doing it in New South Wales and Queensland. There was a trotter who done it in South Australia. And then Sonny's sister also completed that same task in the South Island in New Zealand as well. So it can actually be done, but it can also be a big ask, can't it?
Yeah, for sure. You whenever you go out of your own sex, it definitely gets difficult. And if we've ever probably had a filly to go and do it, she'd probably be the one. But you got to have everything go your way, and hoping for a good run in transit again. But there's some nice colts and geldings in that field, and she's come up with barrier 1 again, so it's probably a little bit of a tricky draw. But she's probably got the high speed to do it. But saying that, she's got to have everything go her own way.
Who's up there? Is Mum still up there, or is you haven't left Lockie in charge up there again? Still have yours?
Locke and Arnie are still up there at the minute. I think Locke's got to get himself back on Earth to travel back home at this stage. But yeah, no, Lockie and Arnie are up there at the minute. I think Locke's meant to be coming home tomorrow, but he might act like he's got a flat tire or something again to get another couple of days up there. He's having a ball. So no, good on Locke. The boys work hard, and they can get away for a few days and get up there and have a bit of fun. And it's good for them. And they got some success on the weekend, and that's all you can ask for. They're doing a good job and they work hard, so happy for them.
If anyone's not aware, Lockie is the greatest story. Well, not the greatest, but he is a great story, and well done to the Craven Lee family combination for taking the boy under his wings. He was a number washer, basically. He used to wipe the sweat off the back of the old vinyl numbers at the Trang harness racing. That's about where he started, wasn't it, Paddy?
Yeah, I think he spent a couple of years in there and scrubbed an old bristle brush on the back of the numbers for a couple of years, and then, he just took a liking to it, and the more and more that he was working in the numbers room, he got a liking to it, and then he come here and started cleaning boxes, but he didn't last long cleaning boxes. He had the hands for it, and he's worth ethic, and his talent's taken him a long way so far. So yeah, proud he lost. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, and you're spot on and well said there because Jason actually said that's the best. When he was walking up afterwards, he said, "Well, that's the best drive we've had," because he said we've now got the hardest worker going for the next 6 months, because that's what he's like, isn't he? he'll just yeah.
It's like fuel in a car. You just put a bit of fuel in there and he'll keep going. And when it starts to run on empty, he's got to find something more to get him going a bit. But they all they all work hard. I mean, Auntie Horse as well. He stayed here at home on the weekend and he's been a long servant for us and he's doing a good job. And Annalise Scott and Glennie went to Melton. And yeah, there's a lot of work that goes in behind the scenes, and our uncles do a terrific job giving us great facilities and the setup we've got to prepare these horses to go to the races. So, it's all hands on, and everyone that puts in deserves credit for the win we had on Saturday night. Yeah,
no, I couldn't agree more, mate, and I think well done to you guys, and huge well done to Mum. I got an interview with almost straight after. She didn't want to. She told me I had to delete the part where she said she might even give him a kiss because she was worried it was going to upset all you other boys. I'm like, no, I don't think it'll worry anyone. But I think you guys do an awesome job. You always give your time and promote the sport in the right way, but also bringing people like you said, Matty Horsnell. He's not family. Annalise Scott's not family, Lockie Cook's not family, but you just all treat them as part of the family, part of the team there, and I think it's a great effort. And even your cousin drove 1,000 winners the other day, so it was a pretty big weekend actually when you think about it.
Yeah, it did too, Matty. That's a good effort. He's been going around for a long time, and he does a terrific job as well. So it was a good weekend for the whole family, and I thought you did a good job getting an interview off Marg. I was shocked when I seen it. She's not usually the one that likes doing the interviews, but you must have got her at a good time.
Oh, she was pretty pumped. It was pretty raw, the scenes, what I was watching. And to be honest, I watched it more than normally. I'd pick the camera out and take a video of it, but I got caught actually just watching them cheer, if you know what I mean. It was, it would have been awesome on camera, but it was more, I don't know, I just got caught up in the moment. I didn't actually watch the last 100 metres of the horse. I more watched them. And just see what it meant to everyone, and that's what I mean. That's why sometimes I think people might wonder why I'm doing an interview with the New South Wales Oaks winner. I can tell you, if you saw the scenes and saw what it meant to everyone there, that's why, and that's why I love promoting this sport when you see people like that too.
100%. I can see what you mean when they come around. You got to take them.
Absolutely. Now you were playing footy last weekend. Do you take the weekend off footy to go up for the Derby or?
We've actually got a night match this week coming up, so I might have to, I'll probably be on shine there. Not very often you get a night match, so I might have to, see what I can do.
You're going to play footy on the Saturday night instead of going to the Derby, Trotters Derby.
Well, I thought I stayed away last week and we lost. We were 3-1 and we lost to a side that haven't won a game. So I might be better just heading off to the Derby. Maybe it might be a change of form. But no, we got a night match coming up this week. So anyone that's out there listening and wants to come down and see a good side of footy put on a show, everyone's welcome.
Well done, Paddy. No one's gonna give you a hard time after this interview. That is for sure, mate. So, Paddy, thank you. Thank you for giving me a bit of the time. We could talk all day about Trotters. I might come down there one day and we might sit down and have a good chat through the winter months about the Trotters, even sit down with Auntie. You might just have to be the interpreter for me because I have a bit of trouble with his accent from time to time. But might sit down there and talk Trotters and the direction you guys want them to go into, because not a lot of Trotters train down south over the journeys, but you guys have really changed that. So, I'll get the chance. I'll come down and we'll sit down and have a good chat.
Yep, no worries at all. I think if you might give him a little bit of a nicotine, he might be able to slow his speech down for you, Paulie.
Paddy, thank you. Really appreciate the time, mate. You've had a couple of drive-bys too. I'm tipping you're getting a text message or two from time to time, but thank you for that, mate. And well done to the whole family. Good luck on Saturday night as well. Hopefully she can go back to, like I said, rocking with attitude. Sonny's sister, and I apologise to the horse in South Australia. I better get its name up and find it, but it's an Aldebaran horse actually. But yeah, well done to those guys as well. So, mate, thank you, and as I said, thank you very much to the whole family for all the time they give me.
No worries, thank you.
We have Paddy Lee, co-trainer. Paddy's the lover, if you like, of the Trotters behind the scenes down there, and it's it's a great little team, great, a lot of fun, and it did mean a lot Saturday night to Margie and everyone else. I don't normally get caught out watching. I normally like, oh, here's a video opportunity, I better do something with that. But I got caught out daydreaming along the lines. Just a couple of races I did want to highlight. I think it was just a terrific race. The MacArthur Mile. Actually, I might bring the video up before I flick it across to that. But these two great mares. I think sometimes I said it to Anton. Whoops, just give me one sec. We're just a bit too close there. To Anton that we sometimes forget these two horses are both mares. And I talk about Queen Elida and I'm Ready Jet. That's Revelstoke jumping it off out the side there. But they're terrific mares. They try so hard and race the boys. We don't ever say they're the girls taking on the boys, and they do a great job. And it meant a bit to Nathan going to war with a mare like Queen Elida and just getting up right across the line. It meant a lot more to Anton Galino as well, because his dad was there. He watched the race with his dad, and it was terrific scenes as well. So Tony Barron was down for the Kiwis. The Kiwis are out in force as well, and she's a beautiful mare, and I don't think she's going anywhere soon. So it's they just both do an amazing job. I'll just have a quick look. It's because Nathan said this to me the other day. So she's at 688,000. I'm Ready Jet, 25 wins from 68 starts, and then Queen Elida is at 800. So there is exactly $200,000 difference actually. Pretty close to it, just under $194,000 difference in stake money between the two mares, but they've been outstanding mares for the whole journey for us. And anyway, great racing, great trot racing too. It was in New South Wales the other day. We'll get this horse up here, Royal Dan, and you can just watch this this horse. As I said, Jack Trainer wasn't that worried about holding him. He just let him run. He was having a crack at the track record. Make sure he hit all of the buttons to get it across here, but he's just turning for home. But he's an exciting trotter. He's up there to be set for the Inter Dominion, because the Inter Dominion's there later on in this year, so that's what he's there getting ready for, and they got a lot of time for him. Jason Grimson trains him now. Doesn't have a lot left, but he's got a beautiful action because he had a royal treat by Orlando Vici, same sire as Just Believe. Queen Elida, Queen Kenny actually had a 2 seconds for the night there, with Toro Stride also running second on that occasion. Make sure I've got the right screen up. And then of course New Zealand, and we touched there before about Bet and Win. Winning, but Just Believe again doing it with beating Muscle Mountain. Another really great race to watch. I could show you them all, but the show's been going pretty long, and go to HRNZ to be able to watch all of that, all these races. There was actually one other achievement I do have to highlight, but we'll get it here. This is the last 400 metres, if you like, of this race. And you can see these two horses starting to go to war here, with Muscle Mountain outside of Just Believe outside of Muscle Mountain. Benny Hope was pretty confident. He got the big fella back, and he was terrific. Oscar Bonavina's in on their back, and going from there. There's a galloper out the back. I can't remember the name of that horse actually. It's just escaped me just for the minute. He doesn't want to trot either. Matty White, he's in all sorts. Euro Kenny is the other horse. I think that's the other horse of the Hopes. But yeah, when you drop a horse like Oscar Bonavina off like that, again, wet track though, I don't think he's that keen on the wet tracks, Oscar. But yeah, I think this was as good as he went. He's going to the Rowe Cup, so if you're thinking about going to the weanling sales, make sure that, so that is on May the 23rd. If you go to the weanling sales, make sure you stay for at least 2 more days. The Friday night is the Rowe Cup, and he will be stepping out there. Euro Cash. Was that horse galloping? But he would have been disqualified, surely. I don't know why that horse... If there's any Kiwis watching, why was Euro King not disqualified? He's galloped across the line. I don't understand that one. Euro Cash, yet he's still there in the field. Only beaten 6.5 metres. Anyway, smarter people than me will know the answer to that one. He's galloped for 500 metres, but they have a relegation rule anyway that if you gallop across the line, you're DQ'd. Yeah, the Oaks was taken out by Empire City, Peter, Argus and Janet. I haven't seen them on tonight. They're great supporters of Campbell's comments. And when I say supporters, they just like. So if you're watching this, like, hit subscribe, as they say, and get the message out there. That's a lap to go. Thank goodness for that. I was a little bit worried there for a minute. But she's a beautiful filly. Another filly, Volstead filly, winning an Oaks over the weekend. Yeah, Ricky May on her in front. Princess Sadie, Maddie Williamson gets out. She just keeps running home, this little filly. Crystal Hackett had a great night, and her filly gets home terrific here as well. But yeah, Empire City is just she's a real trying horse. She's a very, very good filly. She's put a lot of nice fillies away. The horse getting in the second is by, it's called In a Single Moment. And it is by, what's her name? What the Hell Now? I don't know if it was this. No, it can't be this race. So yeah, Empire City beat In a Single Moment and Lucky Mum were the first 3 across the line. Volstead, What the Hill and Father Patrick. But I have to go back because there was an achievement, and I think it was this race here. Yep, we'll put this screen up for everyone. I'll flick it over the clean one so people can see it. But as you can see there, Father Patrick, Father Patrick, Father Patrick, that's a great job as well. But look at the breeder. Brecon Farm, Brecon Farm, Brecon Farm. And I can tell you the horse that ran 4th, Brecon Farm. So an amazing effort. I will get Ken Brecon on one night. We'll talk about trotters and his love for them. But yeah, he's got a great brand of brood mares. But the first 4 horses home in that 2-year-old race. We can do it that way actually. The IRT Young Guns 2-year-old trot, meant to be Higher Power, Pretty in Pink and Illicit Love for the Hacketts. It's another Father Patrick. So Father Patrick and Ken Brecon had the first 4 horses home in that, and that's a pretty good feat, that. So yeah, well done to him for that as well. I think that's a bit of a wrap. Talking trotters, had some great guests on, so things are looking really good for Queensland. So I do appreciate people coming on. We've got plenty of build-up going on there. Don't forget, next Saturday night, sorry, with the New South Wales Trotting Derby. Better go this one and make sure I get it right. There was also the free-for-all. I think I better not say that. That's the wrong name. I was going to say it was a Bulleye Trotters Cup is on there. I saw Revelstoke in there for Anton Galino. And the rest is made up of New South Wales horses, which is good. Leaf Stride, Have No Fear, Toro Stride, drawn 1, 2, 3, the Randos, 1, 2, 3, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Majestic Trio, great little mare herself. She ran 3rd the other night, so she's in that. And then the New South Wales Trotters Derby field, there it is there, with Kiang Zahara. Drawing 1, Val Florenz, Valtino, Kenny World, his first emergency. AJ Volstead, a horse they paid a lot of money for. Some talk of that horse getting ready for the Great Square as one of the 3-year-olds. Mega Spur, We Can Have It All. Possibly a little bit disappointing, I think, the other night, the filly. Penny was outstanding. Thunderstruck for Chris Lang and Sonia Ma heading up there. Agent Black, Shane Graham, head 'em up. Another horse they paid just over $100,000 for from New Zealand and doing an awesome job. And I think he's also on the short list for the Great Square. So there's plenty of intrigue there with the success stud New South Wales Trotters Derby 8:27 to go for from there. So tune into the rest of my shows. On Loose Lines will be on Wednesday night, where we could talk anything forever. There's no problems there. And Over the Ditch tomorrow with Matty Markham will go out as a pre-record. May not. We might even do it live. I'll just see what he's up to. We might even just do an impromptu live during the middle of the day and get people to get involved if they want to, but we'll just see how we go. So stay in tune with Campbell's Comments, Facebook and YouTube. My YouTube monitor is flat. So anyone that's been trying to watch me on YouTube and saying I'm not talking to them, I apologise. But yeah, she's flat. So I'll have it charged up for both shows tomorrow. So thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in, watched the shows and been a part of it. Thank you to all of my sponsors. Of course, we've got Arasta Trotters, breeding champion trotters across the journey. You just heard then Pat Driscoll had a influence in King Zahara. Of course, I'm Ready Jet, they bred. Also, Just Believe, just to name but a few. NZB Standardbreds, of course, with the Weanland sales at Karaka on May the 23rd. That's a Thursday, and then Roe Cup on the Friday. There's 106 weanlings on offer. 21 trotters. 21 trotters in that. Can't think of them all just at the minute, but there will be 21 trotters on offer from there. Barrastock Feeding Champions. Of course, they feed Just Believe. They also do the feeds for Alabar Farms and also Lowlong Farms, Kath McIntosh as well. So feeding the champions there. They recommend Furlong. It's got oats in it. It's a rip and feed. Plenty of thoroughbred horses winning on it. There's no reason it will not work for the standardbreds. Get in touch with barrastock.com.au, barrastockhorse.com.au for all your feed information, or contact the team. You can get in touch with me as well if you would like. Woodland Stud, of course, selling 41 weanlings and that sale. 11 by What the Hill, 2 Speeding Spurs, but 41 weanlings with all stallions represented. There's even an Art Major weanling on offer. So they've got Better's Delight, Sweet Lou. Down by the Seaside, Lather Up, American Ideal. Had a very impressive 2-year-old winner today. We'll talk more about that on Wednesday's show. And also Speeding Spur and What the Hill. So yeah, great contingent of horses there. And then the Winter Woolies for any of the Australians. I presume Australians. Probably, I don't know if they can do New Zealanders or not. I haven't actually asked him that. Oh yeah, they did actually. They sold a trotter from New Zealand. So yeah, anyway, if you want to sell your horse in the Winter Woolies, get in touch with Mark Barton and Gemma Smallman. Still open for a few more days yet, so may not even be closing on Wednesday, but we'll get that out there then. Amazing stat. Cam Bray, the birthday boy, tells me today there was a weanling sold at the thoroughbred sales. $500,000 and a little bit more, which is just an amazing figure. So yeah, Ashley Haynes, hello to you, my friend. Your trotter's out having a little bit of a spell, and you've had a couple of others going around, but yep, hello to you, and trust you're well. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in. Not a lot of comments, but really appreciate it anyway. We'll be back next Monday night talking trotters, and we'll have a couple more guests on. Please feel free to get involved. If you'd like me to promote some of the trotters, some of the things that are going on, don't feel scared to send me the message as well. But thank you to everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you all for Talking Trotters next Monday night live from 6 o'clock.